Good morning. Today's devotion is when you don't feel thankful. All of the scriptures this week have to do with giving thanks to God, and sometimes that's easier than others. When I think about my husband and my family, it's easy to thank God. When I look at a beautiful sunset over the ocean, it's easy to thank God. Even when I escape a tragedy, like when I manage to avoid hitting the driver who cuts me off, or when I get a flat tire and somebody stops to help, it's easy to thank God. We owe everything we have to God. Every moment of every day, we should be thankful. But sometimes it's harder to be thankful than others. When a gunman kills innocent children at a local school, when a loved one dies from cancer or COVID, when you lose your job, and many other things that this world throws at us can make it hard for us to be thankful. When life seems unfair, or when you're suffering, it can be very hard to be thankful. So why should we thank God when things stink? It can be hard to remember when things are bad that you are still blessed. When the Hebrews had been conquered and taken into exile in Babylon, they didn't feel like praising God. But in our Jeremiah passage for this week, Jeremiah encouraged them to build houses, get married, have children. Yes, you just lost the war. Yes, you're in exile, but you still have plenty to be thankful for. In the Christmas movie Holiday Inn, Bing Crosby's song Plenty to Be Thankful For comes when he is deeply depressed. He's sitting at his Thanksgiving table alone, refusing to eat, because he just read that the woman he loves is engaged to his best friend. And he had recorded that song to send to them so that they could use it in a movie. So while he listens to his own voice singing that he has plenty to be thankful for, he just makes fun of it. He doesn't believe it. Sometimes we have to make it through a tragedy to the other side to see that God was still blessing us in the midst of our suffering. But sometimes remembering our blessings can help us get through the hard times. Listen to a part of the psalm from today. Here is Psalm 66, verses 8 through 12. Bless our God, O peoples, let the sound of his praise be heard, who has kept us among the living, who has not let our feet slip. For you, O God, have tested us. You have tried us as silver is tried. For you brought us into the net. You laid burdens on our back. You let people ride over our heads. We went through the fire and through water, yet you have brought us out to a spacious place. Now, I don't believe that God causes all our troubles. It is usually our own sins or just the injustice of the world. I don't think that God is purposely up there zapping us. Our God is a God of love and grace and forgiveness. But I do believe that when we go through hard times, that God goes with us. God is there to keep our feet from slipping. God is there to see us through the fire and the water. God has been there for us in the past and will be there for us in the future. So looking back to see how God has been faithful in the past can help us in times of trouble. And counting our blessings can help us get a new perspective. It can help us make it through the suffering, even if it is as simple as, thank you, God, that I woke up this morning. We have things we can thank God for. Those who lost homes or even loved ones in the recent hurricane can thank God that they're alive. But more than that, they can thank God that there are so many people helping their neighbors. There are people sharing generators, helping pick up debris, helping clean up water damage. They're sending food and water and clothes. Even in the midst of horrible tragedy and suffering, there are still things to thank God for. Even if it is just a friend there to hold your hand and to pray with you, God is still showering us with gifts and deserves thanks and praise. Have a blessed week.